My sister planted herself in the foyer of my $850,000 house an hour before our family reunion, wearing the same smug grin she used to steal my clothes in high school. Dad promised this place as my wedding present, she bragged. You honestly think it's yours? Dad chuckled, as if the $760,000 I'd sunk into the mortgage meant nothing. You've got money, he said, but you don't belong here. I answered with silence. Instead of arguing, I opened a drawer, pulled out a clear plastic sleeve, and laid the deed on the kitchen island. Emma wandered the living room barefoot, heels kicked off by the fireplace, scoping out square footage like a buyer on closing day. Her voice bounced off the high ceilings. You really believe this is your house? Dad drifted past me without so much as a greeting. No hug, no good to see you, just a shrug that erased 10 years of double shifts, skipped vacations, and every cent of savings I'd poured into these walls. They acted as though they'd caught me trespassing in my own kitchen. I picked up my phone, opened the family chat, and tapped send on a message drafted months ago. It's sold. Silence. Dad's jaw twitched when he recognized the deed. Emma's face drained. She didn't know escrow had closed 2 hours earlier and the wire had already hit my account. You're lying, she whispered. I didn't bother replying, because it was never about the house, it was about their belief that, no matter how hard I worked, I'd always be the kid they could step over. Not anymore. When the door clicked shut behind them, I didn't feel anger, I felt lighter. This wasn't an ending, it was the start of something better, and they had no idea what was coming. The warning signs weren't new, I'd just been too hopeful to see them. I paid Emma's student loans twice after she quit college each time. I wired cash whenever Mom claimed her card was skimmed. 6 years of $1,000 here, $2,000 there, never a thank you. I covered my parents' property taxes 3 times. They thought the county stopped sending bills because they were seniors. I paid Emma's car insurance after she totaled hers on an icy driveway in July. She soon posted selfies with a brand new car captioned, "Some of us were just born lucky," no mention of me. They treated my income like an infinite safety net until I bought the house. Suddenly I owned something they couldn't fold into their chaos, and they hated it. Hints turned public. Emma texted the family group chat, "Can't wait to move into my dream home. Big things coming." Mom hit like. Dad replied, "That's my girl." 2 minutes later Emma DM'd me, "Don't be shocked if the reunion's at your place. You're the one with extra rooms." Then she posted a photo of my view on her Instagram story, taken without permission, tagged "manifesting my future." I asked where she got the picture. She left me on read. Finally came the GoFundMe. Help us build our family dream home. This property has been in our family for generations. My brother is just the placeholder. Placeholder, as if I were renting my own life. So I sold the house, pocketed the check, and slammed the door on their entitlement. For the first time, the silence felt like peace, not absence. Distant cousins, old classmates. She raised $14,000 in 3 days. When I confronted her, Emma didn't flinch. "It's not personal," she said. "You're just too attached to stuff. You always were." Then, just when I thought it couldn't get worse, a video dropped. A 22-second clip on Facebook. My dad walking through my hallway like it was his own, giving a fake tour of his future son-in-law's new home. "Right here's where we'll put the pool table. Emma's always wanted that. Probably knock out this wall. Widen the kitchen, gotta make space for grandkids." Of course, we're grateful to our son for keeping the lights on in the meantime. 700 likes, dozens of comments. "Looks amazing. Can't wait to visit." No one knew the truth, that the house was in my name, that I paid the mortgage, that the only thing they owned was entitlement. That was the breaking point. I stopped playing alone. I started digging. And I remembered Emma's old hard drive, the one she bragged about. I never delete anything, you never know when you'll need receipts. It was in my storage unit, forgotten after I helped her move files to a new laptop. I plugged it in and waited. First, junk, selfies, bridesmaid inspo, files named LOL_final_V3, PDF. Then I saw the folders, exes, family, fakes, do not delete, screenshots for proof. I opened family. What I found turned my stomach. Dozens of doctored screenshots. Texts edited to make it look like I'd threatened her. Emails rewritten to twist my words into rage. Even voice memos clipped together to mimic angry voicemails from me. You don't matter. I hope your life falls apart. My voice. Spliced together like a ransom note. You could hear the cuts if you listened closely, but who would? She wasn't just lying to the family. She was building a case. For what? I didn't know, but I wasn't about to wait and find out. I started my own file. Saved everything. Noted the timestamps, some from days I was out of the country. Then came the final crack. 3 nights before the reunion, I got a text from one of Dad's old friends, Ron. Just FYI, your dad's been showing people around the house. Told me he's gifting it to Emma. Is that true? I didn't reply. Instead, I called my realtor. The same one who helped me buy the place. And I said 4 words I never thought I would. Let's list the house. They showed up early. Emma in ivory and pearls. Mom in floral. Dad in his power blazer, the one he only wore when he wanted to remind people he still mattered. They walked in like owners. Like the title had already changed hands. The reunion wasn't supposed to start until 5 o'clock. At 3:48 p.m., the gate beeped, footsteps echoed across the marble. I was waiting in the kitchen, calm, ready. Dad came in first, took a slow look around. So this is the big goodbye, huh? He said. Just signed the transfer papers after the party and we're square. I said nothing. Emma floated in like it was her wedding day. God, I can't wait to paint this place. Maybe that awful gray can finally go. No offense. Mom didn't say a word. She never did. Just watched, like always. I let them talk. Let them make themselves comfortable. Let them rise so the fall would sting. Then the doorbell rang. I opened it. Zach. Emma's ex, the one she bled dry, the one she left humiliated. He looked sharp, confident, folder in hand. Emma's face went pale. What are you doing here? He didn't answer. Just nodded to me, walked in, and placed the folder on the island. I think it's time the family saw the real Emma. He opened it. Screenshots, transcripts, a printed timeline of edited messages and voice memos. Verified and enhanced thanks to a friend in digital forensics. Emma lunged. This is fake. You can't just bring trash here. Sit down. My voice didn't waver. It didn't plead. It ruled. And she froze. Dad stepped forward, scanned a single page. His face tightened. This, I said, is a message Emma sent to Zach's boss, pretending to be an ex, trying to get him fired. This is a fake text chain she created between us, to make it look like I threatened her. I tapped a tablet on the table. A voice recording played, my voice, but broken and chopped. You're nothing. I've always hated your guts. Mom stepped back. Dad's mouth barely moved. Then I dropped the hard drive on the table. Every lie, every setup, it's all here, dated, stamped, recoverable. Emma screamed. You're making a scene. No, I said, I'm ending one. Then came the second guest. My grandfather. Dad's father. He hadn't spoken to us in over a year. He walked in slowly, quiet, but commanding. Dad paled. Grandpa walked up to the table, read the papers, then looked at Emma. You always were your father's child. Then to Dad. You lied, you used this boy, you stole from him, and you let your daughter do worse. Dad flared. Don't come into my house. It's not your house, I said. I pulled a white envelope from my pocket and slid it across the table. Final transfer agreement, signed, closed yesterday. Emma blinked. You sold the house? Yes, full price, no discount, no inheritance. But Dad said. Dad lies. She turned to him. You promised. I said what I had to say. He snapped. You think this is about you? I built this family. Grandpa raised a hand. No, you ruined it. I looked at all 3 of them. At Emma, who schemed. At Mom, who enabled. At Dad, who puppeteered it all like a con artist on his last scam. You said I didn't belong here, I said. So I'm leaving, but I'm taking everything you thought was yours with me. Then I turned and walked away. I didn't wait for guests. Didn't stay for the party. I left them standing in a house they never owned, surrounded by proof that everything they built was stolen from someone who finally said enough. And behind me, The only sound louder than the silence was the front door slamming shut. I saw her from the elevator. Paused. Let the doors close. Let her stand there alone. The notary had called earlier, funds cleared, sale complete. The house was gone. So was the part of me that needed to prove anything to them. I didn't feel triumph. I felt stillness. That night, I filed paperwork I'd put off for years, an LLC for my own agency, quiet, precise, discreet. We help clients investigate property abuse and financial fraud, especially when it's rooted in family. No campaign. No announcement. Just a site, a waiting list. Turns out, a lot of people are tired of being used by the people who claim to love them. Clients came fast, an old coworker, a friend of a friend, even an investor my father once mocked for being too soft. He showed up with a contract and a check. For the first time in years, I wasn't someone's backup plan. Meanwhile, the fallout began. A neighbor from my old street messaged me. Your mom came by crying, said you two had a disagreement, asked to borrow money. I replied, don't believe a word, I'm not part of that story anymore. And he understood. Week 4. I got the final letter from the bank. My name gone from all shared accounts. They were now fully responsible for their debts. No calls. No guilt. No flinching. I deleted the last saved password. Then came a message from one of my mom's old colleagues. You've changed, they say you're trying to destroy your family. I sent one line. I just stopped destroying myself. That was the last thing I ever said to anyone in their orbit. And then, it got quiet. Not empty. Peaceful. The kind of quiet where your jaw unclenches. Where breakfast isn't interrupted by expectation. Where silence isn't punishment, it's freedom. The last time I saw any of them was the day I locked the door to my house for the final time. 2 months later, the whispers began. Not apologies. Not accountability. Just damage control. One of my agency contacts forwarded a flagged name from a housing fraud report. Applicant, Emma. Co-signers, my parents. I didn't respond. Just made a note. They were still trying to work the system, only now, without me. Then came a call from my accountant. Someone tried to file a joint enterprise using my credentials. The IP? Traced back to my father's town. Game on. I didn't threaten. Didn't yell. I just cut. Closed every remaining shared account. Cancelled my mother's just-in-case access. Renamed my agency. Transferred ownership under a new parent company. Deleted every thread they could pull. Then I did one final thing. I changed my name. Not for attention. Not for revenge. For ownership. I took my grandfather's last name, the only man in my family who saw me cry and didn't look away. My first name stayed. But somehow, it sounded different now. Unchained. My new office is small, sharp, no clutter. No one gets in unless I open the door. Above it, a silver plaque reads, "We don't work with family." People ask if it's a joke. It's not. It's a policy. At the opening, I invited no one from the past. No family friends. No, he means well, uncles. Just the people I chose. People who don't drain me to survive. One morning, I stopped for coffee. Same place, same order. Then I heard it, her voice. My mother. It hadn't changed except it sounded smaller now. She froze when she saw me. I looked her in the eyes. Then walked right past. No anger. No words. Just silence. For the first time in her life, she had nothing to say. And for the first time in mine, I didn't need her to. My apartment now, high ceilings, clean walls. Furniture I chose. No hand-me-downs, no ghosts. On the shelf, no family portraits. Just one photo, me, holding the keys to the office like a sword. On the mailbox, my new name. A neighbor once asked, "Is it a tribute?" I smiled. No, it's the only name that never lied to me. There's something powerful about disappearing without explaining. About letting people whisper and spin theories, while you sleep, eat, live, unbothered. It wasn't a snap. It was a slow burn. Years of being used, talked over, guilted, minimized, sacrificing everything for people who never said thank you. Until one day, I stepped out of the fire and didn't look back. People still ask, "Do you miss them?" I smile. You can't miss what you never had. What I had wasn't love. It was leverage. And the second I stopped being their leverage, the whole house of cards collapsed. One night, walking past my office, I saw the silver plaque catch the light. "We don't work with family." And beneath it, a second line I had engraved that week. "If you think I owe you something, you were never family to begin with." Most won't see it. But someone will. Someone who remembers the quiet kid who gave too much. They'll see the plaque, see the name, and they'll know. He's gone. And the man who replaced him? He doesn't bleed for anyone. Not anymore.